You're watching the Chemotep Foundation Save the Youth program, hosted by Tisha Winkler and the Chemotep Foundation Youth on the Coyote Man Show Network.
Welcome to the Save the Youth podcast and the Chemotep Foundation Youth podcast. I am your host, Tisha Winkler, and I just want to give a shout out today to Deja and Little Coyote. They are not with us today, but they will be back next week. And I would like to let our audience know that to support our Save the Youth podcast, please text the words without spaces, Save the Youth, to 715-803-4772. Let me repeat that. Please text without words to Save the Youth Podcast 715-803-4772. And also you can give at the bottom of your screen where it says scan bar code to donate. You can also give that way too. And the Chemotep Foundation mission is to train and develop youth using multimedia and also provide support to youth and families that has been diagnosed with cancer. And today I am so excited. We have a special guest in the house all the way from
Baltimore. Woo!
Baltimore. We have Coach P
in the house.
We have Coach P in the house for the Save the Youth podcast and the Chemotep Youth Foundation. And I wanted to invite Coach P on because she is a dance instructor. She says she's a master teacher in dance, and we're just so excited that she's here today. And Coach P, can you let our audience know, how did you get started in dance?
Community marching band. I was 5 years old. It started in a marching band called the Golden Angels. And I took it from there, and I was intrigued. I gave my life back to Christ, and I was intrigued about the dancing that was taking place in the church. So I turned the marching into praising God, and I love the children. So that's where I just turned it around and just started teaching dance at Tisha Tillman, where I started my first after-school program.
Oh, that is so amazing. And Coach P, why is it very important that children learn how to have different techniques of dancing and just to keep them involved in different solutions and different things that they can do to keep themselves busy?
Well, one way is I learned that if your child is interested in something, tap into it, but don't force them to do it, because they're not going to have fun. It's going to be a drag for them. They're not going to want to go, and you making them go. But when they love it and they have the passion for it, they run with it. They excel in it. They're excited. Their schoolwork turns into A's and B's because they have an outlet for whatever it is: dance, basketball, swimming, golf, anything. So that's it.
And yes, I want to piggyback on that because when I was growing up, I was never the best dancer. And my mother put me in ballet. And the teacher and the dance instructor, they were so frustrated with me because I couldn't get my feet together. I was going side to side when everybody else was going the other way. And I just want to let you know that after this show, I want some dancing.
I can do that.
I need some dancing techniques.
I can do that.
Before I get married. I need some dancing techniques.
Of course. I self-taught myself dance. I couldn't afford to go to the classes, so I just started teaching myself, going online, ballet, modern, jazz, hip hop, tap. And then I came into an organization called Dance Baltimore, which is the leading director, Cheryl Goodman. And I took I took modern classes and all those things, and it enhanced me, and it made me a better teacher, a better dancer, a better instructor, and definitely a better, to keep not only the girls engaged, but also keeping the boys engaged.
And how old were you when you discovered you had a gift to dance?
5.
You were 5 years old?
5 years old, and then I was a pom-pom girl. And then by 10, I started being the leader of the pom-pom. And I had to create all of these marching band routines. And I was asking God, how did I become this great choreographer? And he had to bring back to memory. You had to make marching band routines for the girls at 10 years old.
Okay, 10 years. Wow.
Yep.
I think I used to see, we lived in the same neighborhood.
Yes.
So I think I used to see you.
Patterson Park
Yes.
Parade, come around that corner. I'm like, they be like, yay, Phyllis. And I'll be just twitching and going. And it was just the best part of my life.
That is so amazing. And when you are working with children and youth in the public schools, what are some challenges you face trying to teach dance to your students?
One thing is keeping them engaged is one thing. And I bring realness. I don't come with, let's do this. I give them an opportunity I pick the music. Which one do you want to do? And then the music that they pick, all 3, it's already choreographed. All I do is teach it to them. I just bring me. I bring life, especially the kids. I was at Glens Falls this school year, and the principal was so amazed that the boys was more intrigued in the dance classes than the girls because of the style and the way I bring the dance to them. I don't force them. I bring it, and when I bring it, they bring me, and we dance together.
Okay, that is very amazing. And what of all the dance that you do, which one do you like the most?
The most I like is tap. Tap is my favorite because it makes noise. It's just a noise making. I just love it. Tap is one of my favorite that I had to teach myself because I couldn't afford to take classes, but my strength is modern. Modern is my strength. I am a beast at teaching modern.
So would you ever consider going on any show of like I Have Talent or like dance shows? Would you be interested in that, or like what's that called, Fame?
50 and over. 50 and over. These knees don't work like it used to, but when I'm teaching, my knees, I don't pay my knees any mind. I keep the kids engaged. They love Coach P.
And yes, because I don't know if you know or not, but I've been an assistant teacher in the Head Start program for over 16 years. Mm-hmm. And my favorite part of the day, even though I love teaching, is dance and movement and music and movement. Even though I'm not the best dancer, but I be in there.
All it takes is you can tell when the music comes on. You could tell in people where they are mentally, spiritually, financially. You put that music on and you could see their personality in a minute. Oh, this is my jam and I'm going to do this, and stuff that they couldn't do, they do. And it's the most important thing, that dance is my therapy. When I'm overwhelmed, I go in my secret place and just start creating and moving, and it's just it's one of my happy places.
Okay, that is so amazing. Like when you look at like different shows on different TV, you see a lot of dance people that teaching dance and everything. Mm-hmm. Cause I see a lot of people that's taking it up right now.
Yes.
And do you think you would go back to school to get your degree, or you said you already have your degree?
No, I don't have a degree. I do have my certification in creative movement in early childhood.
Yeah.
I chose that because being a ballet teacher, you only got to teach ballet. But in creative movement, you can use everything: ballet, jazz, tap, hip hop, everything. And when I was at Furley, I was the arts integration teacher. So then I came up with having my own dance company, is which I'm wearing a t-shirt. It's about dance where training takes place, period, just period. So the kids loved it. We went and we had programs in and off. But when the pandemic hit, it was sad. I had to teach online.
Oh yeah, and how challenging was to teach dance virtually online?
Oh, well, it was the best. I mean, I had got some training from the Maryland Dance Academy with Darby in Owens Mills, where we had to go online and go in the studio and teach them from home. And then when everything, we couldn't go, then we had to teach it at home. But it was easy. I was able to keep the kids engaged online.
That's
online and in person. Yeah. Everybody was like, oh my God, this is the best. But it was the best.
Actually, when I was on Facebook, I would see your videos online and you just
moving,
yes.
Because I had to keep those kids in line. And even when we came back to do in person and online, I had one of the CEOs from Baltimore City come in and watch me in the auditorium. He was amazed because I wasn't, then I was still going to school and I wasn't certified. Yeah. But I was a temp and I was doing my thing, and I was teaching pre-K to all the way to 5th, PAL kids, our kids with autism, behavior kids. It was just amazing that I could get them engaged. And my PAL kids was one of my best children. I loved them, and they loved me.
And you know, it's very important, and we want to tell the youth out there in the audience, it's very important that you get your education and get your degree and everything, but a lot of things that you have are inside of you. You have a lot of gifts inside of you, and your gifts will make room for you.
Yes, your gifts will make room for you. Yeah. And piggybacking on what you said, some of our kids are just not college material. No. So we have to look at, let's go online and see if we can get some kind of certification in something. Because every college is not for everyone.
And I wish I would have learned that a long time ago. I had 4 more classes for my AA degree.
All right. Woo-hoo! That's what's up. Word up to the mother.
Yes, but
thank God.
But my mother forced me to go during the time when I wasn't ready. So when I went to college, I was getting like D's, and I wonder why, because I wasn't ready. Mm-hmm. I wasn't ready until I was 25, and then my grades improved. I did get B's and A's, but it's very important that when you go to college, make sure that you really want to go.
Yes. And when you go to college, you have to learn how to study, because I had to teach online and in person, and go to school. So I had to spend that time teaching online. When I go home, at home, I made time, I took a shower, I ate something, and that was for maybe 3 months. I didn't do anything on Saturdays and Sundays. My days was just studying and getting through this class. And I did well. I could have gotten a B, but I got a C+ because it was just too much trying to teach and go to school and go back and track. And maybe if I do the assignment again, I might fail it. And that's what my thoughts were. So I just accepted the C at my age. And I was the oldest one online in my class, but had the most experience. Most experience.
And that is very important, because when you were talking just now, I was just really thinking about some things when I was younger. Mm-hmm. And I was going to take a dance class in college, but I let fear get in the way, because I thought people were going to look at me, because when I dance sometimes, I don't have a lot of rhythm. So how important is it for dancing to have rhythm? Is it very important to have?
Yes, one thing it is very important to have rhythm. And if you don't have rhythm, you just gotta Find that beat and just move. Move to that one beat and just sway, move, get that swagger. Just move, and you just find that beat. That's it.
So I had to really listen to the beat because I think I'll dance before the music come on.
Just when you hear that music and that beat, that very beat, you just find a beat and just move. Just move. Move with it. And once you move with it and you keep on doing it and you keep on doing it, before you know it, you done broke out and you done nay and you done did all these things. And one thing that I thought about was when we did come back, TikTok made so many dancers. Because when I came back to school in the fall last school year, this school year, kids that had no rhythm, they had rhythm. They was doing cartwheels. They was doing back walkovers. And I was truly amazed. People thought TikTok was annoying and it was too much, but our kids found confidence, and when they came back, I was impressed. I was like, okay, you better go ahead and do that back walkover. So TikTok helped the kids, give them confidence and keeping them occupied from websites that they weren't supposed to go to, but TikTok did their thing.
And you took me right to my next question. How can dancing enhance your self-esteem and your image?
It can enhance when you got to know if you have a passion for it. You cannot follow your friends. You can't join a dance class. You may have the passion to do it, but your friend may not. And sometimes you can't take your friends where God is going to take you and lead you. And doing that, when you have your passion, there's your heart. And when your heart is in it, there's your drive. And that's when you keep it moving.
And yes, can you let our audience know that you said you have a twin sister?
Yes, I do have a twin sister. She did follow me at Dance Baltimore, but unfortunately, she is a brain cancer survivor of 2 years.
Woo!
She had to put up her Zumba shoes, and she wrote 2 books, time after time. I'm really proud of her. She is the light of my life. Yeah. She is my #1 supporter. If everybody had bad things to say about me, they put me under, they said she just too much. She support me in every way of my life, and I want to thank her.
Yeah,
I do truly, and I love you, Miss Lynn Wynn. Happy anniversary.
Happy anniversary, Lynn Wynn. And I would just like I want the audience to know, I actually met Lynn Wynn and Coach P when I was a little girl, just walking to school in the neighborhood. And we used to see each other, right?
Castle Street, Edgar Street, down the hill.
Monument Street.
Monument Street, down the hill.
Yes.
And it was good times. And now, look at me now. I'm a homeowner. Ooh. I have my own dance company. I work for Game and Fitness. I contract with them, and I go into schools, do my thing. And thanks, Coach Dante, for believing in me. And not only I have to give thanks to the Julie Community Center. That's where it really started, with my mother in the communities. Communities is my big thing. I am a community person. Thank God to my mother for being the woman she is, and rest her soul. She made it happen for a lot of people. She instilled a lot of things, and people love Gail Faulkner.
Yes. Well, that was a lot to say. I love
community is a big part of my life.
Yes, because I actually grew up during the time when we had a recreation center.
Yes.
And my mother used to take me to was down there by Monument Street.
Okay.
At the recreation center right there. I forgot the name of it, but My mother used to
Bochecks.
Yeah, she kept me to there every week. I thought that was my daycare center. I was like, why I'm always here?
My kids went to the Julie Community Center with Sister Bobby. Now Miss Laura is in charge of it, and she runs a community, and this will be in 2 more years. It will be 50 years that community center on 100 South Washington Street, who saved a lot of lives and children and built foundations in them. And now they're educators and now they're teachers. My son is an educator and my daughter is a pastry chef. She used to dance, but she is now a pastry chef. And we got educators. My niece is an educator. My other niece, we have a small family, but we just love each other. It's just me, my sister, and my kids.
And when I was talking to you,
and her kids,
when I was talking to you yesterday, you were talking about your children, and you said your daughter went to the School of the Arts.
No, she did go to the Twigs program, and she went to Duke Ellington Performing Arts School in Washington, D.C.
Oh, okay.
She graduated in 2010, and it was amazing. Ninth grade, they had a performance every year, and every year I saw her bloom in the discipline. She came in as a wild coyote, came back, came back this sweet young lady. And now she has 2 children, and they are my grandkids, and they are the light of my life. Reginald and Jamia, to the DC clan. I love you, and it's just the most important thing is and I also was the dance leader at Mount Pleasant Church and Ministries.
Really?
Yes.
Is that the one in Sinclair Lane?
Yes. Yes. Under the leadership of Bishop Clifford Johnson, the senior, the 4th, the 5th, the senior. But he has done great things in my life. He has totally changed me. Not changed me. He became the father that I had that passed. But he's still my father, and he just makes me walk the way I should as a Christian ought to walk. I was wild. Back in the day, I was wild. I was a wild young lady, but I had a clean background. So, yes. And the love that I had for God, I spend a lot of time with God, and also my faith moved God. I don't do all that laying out, and I just walk in faith, not walk by faith. I walk in faith. God, you move. My faith move you from here to here to here to Timbuktu. My faith moves God in every walk of my life. Yeah. Without him, I am truly nothing.
Well, I feel the same way every day.
Every day.
And I try to walk in purpose.
Yes.
And I really want to help the youth, because I know the struggles I went through as a youth, because I don't think everyone knows, but during the time when I was in high school, because I did really well until I went to high school, and I missed 45 days in the 9th grade. Then I ran away. Hanged out with the wrong people.
Absolutely.
And I want to ask you a question about your studio. Do you see your dance studio going worldwide?
Well, right now I have no studio. I have no place to teach, but I'm asking God to help me move in that direction, because a lot of parents see me and a lot of students see me. They even call me Miss Savoy, Coach P. Do you have a studio? Well, my child is worrying me to death about teaching her. And I just, maybe 3 weeks ago, I helped a young lady audition for the Baltimore School for the Arts Twigs program. Okay. And I don't have a studio, but that's where I'm going. I really do want to have my own studio.
So do you think as a professional dancer and a master coach, do you think you can get some resources or like scholarships or grants to open up your own studio?
I haven't thought about that. I think so. I'm known in Baltimore City, but I just got to connect to the right people.
Yeah.
Because I want to thank you, Miss Winkler, for just allowing me to be here. I've always said, when you surround yourself with amazing people, amazing things happen. Yeah. So this today was amazing because I've never done this before, and I'm so excited.
Well, you want to hear something funny?
What?
I never thought about podcasting until one day I was with my good friend Barbie. We had came through the mall to the food court, and I saw the lights flashing. I said, "Ooh, that's a nice arcade down there." And I was like, "That ain't no arcade." It was a podcast. I knew things about broadcasting, but that was the first day I found about podcasting, and I knew God had a purpose for me being here. It's been a year and a half.
All right. Woo! Coyote, how you say it? Ow!
A shout out to the Coyote Man.
Yes.
And Sanjay, yeah. And what are some resources people can receive if they wanted to open up a dance summer camp for children and youth?
Well, I am really connected. The only thing that I could say, the resources that I have now is Game on Fitness. They go into the schools and give the schools recess. I give dance resource in recess. So right now, the only thing that I can do is offer private lessons in my home. And that's the only thing that I could come up with. If you guys have any resources, come see me.
Man Show Network.
Yes, yes. I'm on TikTok. I have YouTube and Facebook. They are my platforms, and my dancers was like, Coach P, we need a YouTube channel. And I was like, no, we don't. I ain't doing all that. That's too much. And then I found out the platform, we needed it because we had to go in. We had to shut down. And I was like, okay. So now I'm just enjoy being, and I'm TikToking with the little people, the big people. I even got the principal at Furley to do a TikTok, and I look back at it, Greta Cephas, she got almost over 1K hits over that one little TikTok that we did in the pandemic. So we have to monitor our children, what they're doing and what platform they're doing, because this is it. This is where it is this is the trend. TikTok, YouTube, and Snapchat and Twitter. I don't Twitter because I don't know how to Twitter. But I don't know how to tweet. All I can do is tweet. So it's been an amazing year. It was a rough year, but I came out on top with the help of God.
And you want to hear something funny?
Yes, tell me a joke.
I'm not the best dancer. I was in ROTC.
All right.
I do know how to move something.
Move something. Move something. Just move something. Just move something. So, dance is truly a part of my life. I always wanted to go dance on Broadway. I love Broadway shows. They called me the black and white picture. I was used to be called the black and white teacher because I was always watching black and white movies and Broadway musicals. Yeah. I love them. They are the best.
What about salsa?
Salsa, yes.
Yeah.
Remember the Latin Palace?
Yes. We had ladies' night every Friday night when all the ladies got together, got off of work, went home, got freshened, put on their makeup, made themselves look pretty after hard, draining work, and we salsa all night long. But unfortunately, the Latin Palace closed down.
way before the pandemic, but that was our South. Yeah, we salsa, mamba. Yeah, the margaritas was the bomb.
I think Sandra remember Odell's. You can stop playing.
Odell's was it too. Odell's was it. The place called the Hole in the Wall. I forgot what it was called. The tree. I forgot what it was called. Some kind of tree that was over there, and that was the hit. Yeah, partying. This old lady, she just party every now and then.
And see, even growing up, I was never the party. I didn't know how to dance, so I wasn't too social back then. So, how important do you think for youth to get the resources they need? Not only the resources, but when they start dancing, do you think they need more planning when they start dancing?
Well, when they start dancing, they just got to know if it's for them. Because dancing ain't for everybody. But we can all dance. Because when you could tell personalities come out, put that music on, and they going. I was like, oh, I ain't know she could move. Ooh, okay. But they do have to have a plan to realize, one, do I really want to do this? 2, do I want to commit to this? 3, is this just something I like to do, or this something I really have a passion and a desire to do?
Oh my goodness. I'm so amazed by you right now, because when I was 18 years old, I was like a coach, teaching the youth. Mm-hmm. But, back then I was like doing mostly like the poems and everything. And I was with a group that I did not want to be with. And the children were so bored. I was like, I need some excitement. So one day, God sent this one guy there, and he knew how to dance. And that we had the best class ever. They were like so excited to come every day to our class.
Absolutely.
I was like, yes. And shout out to Antonio.
And I just want to give a shout out to all the dance educators. They doing shows after shows, camps, all the dance teachers, the professors that teach dance education, because it is. If that is what you want to do, you have to commit. You can't say, I'm going to class today. Oh, it's nice today. We're going to the mall. I had to always tell my students that, okay, if you don't show up, you sure not going to perform. And they really already knew Coach P was not planning. I had the parents already engaged. One year I had a seamstress, the other one did T-shirts. It was amazing how once you get the kids engaged, the parents will come along and then they'll be a part of it. But we gotta make it important. If it's important to us, we gotta make it important to the parents. Because if it's not important to you, the parents ain't going to do anything. They're gonna be like, okay, whatever. Oh, I'll take you today, but you ain't got to go tomorrow. We're not going tomorrow. We're going to Six Flags.
Or Chuck E. Cheese.
Or I don't feel like it. I don't want to get up and do all of this other stuff. But as a dance mom, used to be a dance mom, it was a struggle because I had no money. So I had to get patrons, people who to donate money to my daughter and sell candy, and she went to Morton Street. You want to hear something funny? Because every time it was time to make a payment, I had this big bag of coins and some dollar bills, and this was when I was Miss Faulkner. She was like, Miss Faulkner. Or she would call me Phyllis. You got a bank, all this change, I got to keep counting every week. I was like, this is all I have, and I know my child is committed and dedicated to this. I was only working at the zoo. So I was like bagging it up, selling lollipops and candy at my church. And she was like, girl, if you bring me one more bag of coins, And I had coins, I'm trying to tell you. And I was like, here you go.
Well, you have one right here, too.
A penny right there in front of me.
Yeah.
So it's been great. Shout out to Miss Donna for taking all my coins for Morton Street Dance.
And how long have you been working with Baltimore City Schools?
Well, I've been like off and on. So last year would have been 7. This year would have been 8 years. I left Baltimore City in November and started working with Game On Fitness.
So is Game On Fitness, is it national or is it just in Baltimore City?
Game On Fitness they are partnered with Baltimore City Schools.
Oh, okay.
So they come in and they do resource for the schools, and they get contracts, and we come in and they do field games. But see, Coach P don't do field games. She go in there, she teach her dance, and by the end of the school year, we then came up with maybe 10 dances and a performance.
Oh, okay. We might have to get a performance here at the Coyote Man Show Network.
All right. Ooh. Ooh.
So right now, we're going to take a break for a couple of minutes, and we'll be right back. Please stay tuned, and we'll be right back with Coach P.
All right, Coach P in the house.
The Chemotep Foundation was inspired by my daughter being diagnosed with cancer. And through the pressures that my family went through, it's foundations like ours that offer resources that made it easier for us to manage the stress that a trial like this can bring. The Chemotep Foundation goal is to give support to families who have children that have been diagnosed with cancer, and to possibly bring a smile to a child's face.
You're watching the Chemotep Foundation Save the Youth program, hosted by Tisha Winkler and the Chemotep Foundation Youth on the Coyote Man Show Network.
Welcome back to the Save the Youth podcast and the Chemotep Youth Foundation. And if you would like to support our Save the Youth program, text the words without spaces. Did you hear that?
Yes.
Text the words without spaces to the youth to 715-803-4772. Let me repeat that. To support our Save the Youth program, text the words without spaces, Save the Youth to 715-803-4772. And the Chemotep Foundation mission is to train and develop youth using multimedia and also provide support to families with youth that has been diagnosed with cancer. And we're coming right back with Coach P,
Woo!
the professional dancer, the master dancer from all the way from Baltimore City and Game Fitness. And Coach P, before we wrap it up, I will, can you let our audience know if they would like to have training or dance training, or like to get their children training for dance? How can you be reached?
Oh, you can reach me at Facebook, Phyllis Savoy. You can reach me at Instagram. We love to _dance, and YouTube, Coach P.
Oh, you said Coach P. Can you say it one more time, please?
Coach P. That's it.
Oh, that's it. Right
Once
there.
you type Coach P, you will see this logo, and that's me. You'll see the video. Yep.
Oh, yes, and I would like to ask our audience right now at the bottom of the screen, it says scan barcode to donate. So if you would like to donate with your Android or your iPhone. You can scan it right now to the Save the Youth podcast. And because we want to provide our youth for training, and we need the donations. We just thank you for your support. And Coach P, we would just like to thank you for coming on the Save the Youth podcast and the Chemotech Youth Foundation.
Woo.
Thank you for being available. Thank you for texting me back and forth. And Sanji, she's always in the background, but I love Sanji because she keeps me on my toes. And the Coyote.
You
man.
are welcome. Ow!
Ow! So we want to thank you for coming on the Save the Youth podcast, Coach P, and the Chemotech Foundation. We will be back next Saturday at 12:30. Tune in.
Woo! Dance.